Arizona Cardinals wrap up preseason game number 3. The Cardinals Rewind is tackling the play where the Arizona Cardinals lost 20-9 against the Minnesota Vikings. First game on the road. Jason, what'd you think?
I actually liked what I saw to an extent, I guess you could say.
You sound unsure.
I like this game a lot better than what we got the last game with the first-string offense. Kyler Murray, I thought, looked pretty good back there. Still didn't get it in the end zone. There were a few plays when they could have, should have, would have, I guess. I mean, Christian Kirk, that guy needs to grow a foot or something. He is so dang small.
Or your small quarterback can throw it lower.
Well, he needs to throw it higher on some cases, too.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of batted balls in there, which you don't like to see.
He had 2 batted balls.
Well, 2's a lot.
I know, but the alarming thing for me on the batted ball side, let's just address that first.
Easy picks.
Is the lineman dropped back and was able to bat him down. And if they had any hands on him whatsoever, they're going to catch it and run down the field. So the question that I was trying to figure out, there's only 2, but still, it's alarming when your quarterback's 5'10", because he's got to throw the ball differently, and he's launching it directly into him. So that was alarming. You're absolutely right. Just some quick overviews. Red zone offense, god-awful. Just god-awful. Can't put it into the end zone. Penalties, again, kind of moved them backwards a little bit in the red zone area. Now, granted, they game planned a little bit more for this game, which I was happy to see. I think all the fans were happy to see. So they still aren't showing us everything, but you'd still like to see them put it in the end zone. For one, confidence reasons, but then also just play reasons, put it on film or whatnot. And so that was really disappointing to me, but they did move the ball up and down the field, so that was impressive.
Yeah, they definitely had their chances in the end zone. Like I said, Christian Kirk had one where he stepped out of bounds on a fade route there, I believe in the middle of the first quarter, and then that drive coming out of the first quarter into the second quarter, you had Bird wide open.
And on that Christian Kirk one you're talking about, he threw that ball late. I had the sound off on my TV when that happened, and I went, he threw that late. And then I turned the sound up, and the Cardinals broadcast was like, "Oh man, he threw that like half a second too late."
He was a tick behind, but so I feel like a taller receiver could have got it.
Well, he fed him out of bounds at that point when you throw that ball late, because the whole point of that is to catch it 2 feet down, tap tap, and then you're out of the end zone. So, but I mean, overall, I agree with you. Kyler Murray. Everybody's gonna get back on the Kyler Murray bandwagon so they're on it first week, first preseason. Second week, everybody's jumping off of it. And then this week, everybody's going to get back onto it again, I think. And the game just ended, like 2 hours ago? So this is a literally initial reaction coming from this game.
And I'm on the Keyshawn Johnson bandwagon, too.
Seriously.
Looking like his father. I had to double-take, what year is this right now? What am I watching?
The only issue I have with him, to be honest with you, is that he stands up and points when he gets a first down. And that drives me nuts for anybody.
Yeah, just like his father.
But that's the problem, right, is he's going to be judged by his dad. And his dad was a cock. He hasn't earned that yet, is all my point is. So, got a diva in the making coming is what I'm getting at. So.
Hey, 7 receptions, 85 yards, long of 29.
He was picked in, the 4th, 5th round?
Yeah, he was late.
He's ahead of the guys, the 2 receivers drafted before him on the depth chart because he runs a cleaner route. Man, he's got sure hands. You can put that ball anywhere, and he's going to come down with it on there. A couple of things on Kyler Murray, though, that I wrote down early in the game, like that first drive. Here's the nice thing about it is seeing a whole game, whole half basically, down to 5 minutes left in the second quarter is when he went out. Seeing him go out there so you could see. So the first drive, man, his pre-snap read for that third down was awful. He decided, they showed a blitz off the right side, and he decided he was going to throw this quick out to the tight end on the right side, and the defender was right there and stopped it. I mean, he made that decision before that ball was even snapped. You expect that from a rookie, so okay, that's fine. But what was nice about that was as the game went on, he stopped doing that. And he started reading the defense. There was several blitzes where he threw, I think it was a third drive where a blitz was coming on the right side, and he unloaded the ball right into that blitz, and it was a beautiful throw. They threw it deep this time. He
had Bird for 33 yards or something like that? 33,
and that was a beautifully thrown ball.
Oh,
I don't know what you said.
That was a great ball.
That receiver literally had nothing to do other than catch it. It just landed perfectly in there.
Dropping dimes
on there. So, they mixed it up tonight. They game planned a little bit, meaning that they at least had other plays out there. they do a lot of 2 tight end sets, which everybody keeps saying, don't get used to this. They're not going to do it in the regular season. It's working. If they don't do that in the regular season, it's going to be kind of disappointing in my eyes.
I feel like it's something that they might be showing and kind of getting you off the scent of let's not do this, but then they might just go back to it if all else fails, right?
One, they're running off of it and getting positive yards running, but then 2, they're getting some good plays, passing plays off of it. I mean, Kyler Murray today, the pocket was there, pocket would break down, he would scramble outside, and they weren't always completed, but he'd be looking downfield and he'd throw it to a receiver that it would either be broken up by the defense or the receiver just dropped it.
And he played smart too today.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go for it. It's preseason, all right? He took the dive on a few of those where he's not going to get hit and take one for the team there. We just ran out of bounds, whatever, with it.
But you want your quarterback
August
to do
24th,
that.
right?
But you want your quarterback.
But people are like, oh, he should have, gone for the end zone. Like, get over yourself, you effing blowhards.
No, let's keep him healthy, is my opinion, even in the regular season on that. But I mean, Christian Kirk didn't even play till that. I think that touchdown pass that he went out of bounds on. I think that was one of his first plays, and that was over halfway through the first quarter. So they were definitely still didn't have. I mean, Michael Crabtree, who they just traded for, wasn't in there. He's scheduled to be their third down receiver, and I'm really excited. We won't know this till Detroit Lions in Week 1. But you got Larry Fitzgerald in the slot, Christian Kirk for those long side, long out patterns and whatnot, and Michael Crabtree there's the third. Say what you will about Michael Crabtree. He drops a lot of passes. He does struggle. But the boy can catch the ball, and he can get open, and he's just an extra threat out there for those receivers. I think it's exciting.
You're going to be doing all this crab walking. You're not going to do the crab clap?
No.
That's what they used to do at Texas Tech. Well, yeah, but you have those 3, and then you throw on Keyshawn Johnson, who looked like a stud today. Sherfield, not a great day today, but he's been looking like a stud.
He's making the team
all preseason, and he's going to make the team. So you got those guys. What's that? 5, I think, highly caliber wideouts. More than capable of guys that you go into a game, and you're like, yeah, these guys can get it done.
And then they're, like I said, if they keep utilizing the tight ends like they are, that just gives you another 1 or 2 tight ends on a pass pattern.
And that's a rookie's favorite target, too. So,
I mean, like I said, today, I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust after today. I keep it even keel. But the offense, the thing that was exciting for me was, like I said, was first drive, he made an obvious bad mistake. I even noticed it in the second and third drive where he would stare down his receiver, but the passes were so quick that, okay, it's forgivable. But eventually a cornerback's going to know that he has safety overhelp, and he's going to jump that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you got to worry about on that, because he does get the ball and then just look to his left or look to his right, and then that's where the ball's going. And it's going quick, but somebody high-quality level is going to be able to jump that on there. So, but no, I think the offense, like I said, the bad side is they didn't get in the end zone for penalty reasons, things like that, but they were able to drive the field. I mean, Kyler Murray's final numbers was 137 yards, 14 of 21 passes. He did have 3 rushes for 12 yards. And like you said, it should have been more, but he kind of gave up on a few of those just so he didn't get hit or whatnot. But, I mean, for only going 5 minutes into the second quarter against the Vikings' mainly starting defense, those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, really good numbers. And the flip side of that, look at the defense. Outside of the 85-yard run, the defense looked pretty solid, too.
I have 3 notes in my notes here that says rush D is horrendous. And then looking at where I wrote them down at, it was all on that 85-yard.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like, Delvin Cook, 2 carries, 88 yards, because one of those was an 85-yard touchdown. He ran to the house. Then they also gave up a few other long runs as the game went on.
Later
fourth
on,
quarter
though.
garbage time with the guys who you probably won't see on the team at all and on the field at all this year. So I think, defense, they stepped it up a little bit. I mean, that's what you can say about the 85-yard black eye, but, they look pretty good.
The thing that impressed me, like I said, the rush D, I made 3 notes that it was horrendous, but it was that whole drive there that was just awful for them. But, their pass D looked good. I'm forgetting the Vikings quarterback. Kirk Cousins had some open receivers, so it was alarming that a couple of times he had open receivers going down the field, and he just missed his throw. But part of that was because their rush defense was putting pressure on him, so he was having to unload the ball early, things like that. Because that was the thing today, because Patrick Peterson sat out because he's done till week 7 now. So they basically had the rookies in there playing today, and they didn't do too shabby against Diggs and some good Viking receivers out there. You know, the argument is Kirk Cousins is how good is he actually going to be? So that
Right.
you know,
I
so
mean,
yeah,
that's
so
kind of what
that-
I saw. I mean, I think a better quarterback would have got the ball to some of those guys. I mean, I think the first drive they aired it out, and they were testing those rookie cornerbacks.
He was
and
beat.
he missed the throw terribly. But yeah, he was beat by at least 5 yards or so. A better quarterback would have got that in to his hands. But no, you saw some sacks today too from this defense, which was good to see.
Even the second line defense was shedding their blocks and hitting Cousins like they were the starters. It was impressive. That 90, 91, and I don't know their names, were shedding blocks of the starting offensive linemen of the Vikings and hitting Kirk Cousins, and that was great to see for backups.
Oh yeah, like to see it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Game 4. I imagine the second string guys will get the start. Correct?
Yeah, they've already announced. I don't know how much you heard toward the end of the game. I know you might have been driving. They were announcing. I mean, it's basically going to be all backups, everything next fourth game.
Right.
So I think next game.
Yeah, I
we're
caught
gonna,
the telling of.
Yeah, the next game we're probably going to focus more on looking forward to the Detroit Lions than we are. Well, we'll talk about the game, but we'll probably focus more. That's Thursday night, of course.
Right, but yeah, I mean, you still kind of want to watch this to see who makes the team because I mean, you imagine. I mean, some of those wideouts that we talked about, they're going to be playing in that game just to get the extra reps, I would believe, right? With Johnson and Sherfield, and some of these other guys.
The tight end, the defensive line guys that we just talked about that are going to be second stringers if they make the team are going to be guys you want to watch out there, type of a deal. But one thing that I did want to bring up is
Zane Gonzalez.
Well, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
3 for 3.
Yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
3 for 3, baby.
So that's the thing is I have a hard time talking about guys when your job is to kick it through the uprights, and he did it today. But he did hit one where the length he struggles at. His third one was at the length that he generally misses, and he right down the middle. So that's always a good sign there. But no, this whole clap controversy, you know. So
well, did they even do the clap today?
Yeah,
I was listening. Well,
so
the best thing about the Kyler Murray clap is hearing the announcers refer to it as the clap on the TV screen there, and that gave me giggles. And they weren't even sure. I think it was the second quarter they were talking about. I was like, I don't think I've seen him do the clap today.
He didn't do it at all. But Brett Hundley goes in and does it. He doesn't even clap. Like if you see the video, he literally has his hands like to a side, apart, like he's gonna clap. Moves them in just a hair, lifts his leg, and they call a false start. And then
that must have been the tweet, because I did see a tweet asking what's a false start in 2019, and I was actually walking inside, so I didn't see that.
So what I read right before we started recording this, because a lot of the post-game stuff is still coming in and everything, was that the referee said he clapped without his hands in front of him.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you clap without your hands directly in front of you?
Well...
So then they call a couple plays later with Brett Hundley. He raises his leg, right leg like quarterbacks do, puts it down, another false start. And I don't know why they did that one. Nobody has any info on that one yet.
Well, this crew is a little weird today as we saw Derek Johnson clearly fumble a ball. David Johnson. Sorry, clearly fumble a ball. And for some reason,
I still haven't
seen.
I
don't. Did he actually challenge that, or did he say he couldn't challenge it?
Well, they challenge it because it's a turnover.
Right.
No, wait. They called him down.
Well, no, it's automatic. It's automatic replay because
they called him down. So the Vikings challenged it, and then they said whatever. But I haven't seen anything on the post stuff yet on that deal. But the thing that was interesting was the Cardinals broadcast. I'm actually watching it right now, so I'll get it out on the main event Twitter feed here. But they actually show quarterbacks, and it's Aaron Rodgers, it's Sam Darnold, all lifting their leg, putting it down, and clapping like crazy for the ball. And not last year, no false starts on any of these calls.
Yeah, I remember the leg lift. Tony Romo used to do it all the time. Tony Romo just always lift his leg up. Then if he was getting down to it, he'd be like, "Come on, give me the ball."
The question becomes this: are they just picking up? Because I mean, it rattled
on the rookie.
It rattled. No, it's Brett Hundley that got called today, but it rattled Brett Hundley on that first drive he was in there. Like you could tell he was like being very careful on what he did and things like that. But the question is this just an overreaction preseason thing, or, are the Cardinals being told not to do it, but they're going to allow other teams to do it? And that's what we won't know until week 1 when that starts to happen. But, I mean, looking at all these other quarterbacks that the Cardinals broadcast put together today, right now, I mean, it's 8 times more egregious
Right.
than what Brett Hundley was doing today, and they threw 2 flags on
I
Brett
know
Hundley.
that's your favorite word too, egregious.
Well, you know what? The NFL can be egregious at times, Jason. It's
It'll
ridiculous.
be real interesting to see how they play that going on through the year. Obviously, the NFL rulebook, as we've come to find out in years past, isn't very clear cut on these types of situations, and I believe the referees are just going to do what the referee wants to do in this. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do come out with some sort of new rule where it makes it look black and white, where there's no gray area.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they need to determine. And at halftime, Cliff Kingsbury was going to the locker room. He was asked by the girl who's doing the local broadcast. She was asked about it. He goes, I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to be fined. We are discussing it with the league at that point. And my initial reaction, what was it, last week, was, oh, my God, just get rid of it. Like, we don't need that college hokey crap. But then seeing the video today, every quarterback in the league does it.
Right.
So then it's like, well,
they
never
just don't
mind.
get called. Now it gets called. It's like, oh, what the heck?
I take it back. I never noticed it before. Now all of a sudden it's being called out of nowhere. But I mean, yeah, but that's the thing about the referee today, Walt Hickman or whatever his name is. He was a Big 12 referee for 100 years.
Yeah, so him and Kingsbury actually have a pretty good repertoire with
He
each
knows
other.
the system and everything, and even he called it. So what's alarming to me is that after last week, they purposely called it twice again. So there's definitely an emphasis, and they're watching for it with the Cardinals. And I haven't watched other preseason games to see if it's happening. I haven't seen it anywhere. I follow a lot of things on Twitter. So are they just picking on them in the preseason, or is this going to go into the regular season where it is going to be this weird thing where Cardinals aren't allowed to do it, but other people are?
And it could potentially be detrimental and cost you a win, too, in those situations. So.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously rattles them when they do it to them, So the interesting thing, like you said, but, it's preseason. We won't know till week 1. And even then, week 1's not going to give us the final answer. We've all seen those games where week 1...
It's still pretty much preseason.
Yeah, they call it all whatever, and then week 2, all of a sudden they stop calling all the stuff and everything. So, but I mean, you're absolutely right about the defense, and I don't know if you saw because you might have been driving at that point, but Vance Joseph was interviewed in the third quarter.
I did not see that. By
the local broadcast, and I mean, he made good point on that 85-yard run. I mean, he made the point there and how they're playing the defense, and hearing a coach say it and then watching the play was amazing because the whole point was they stacked the right side of their line to force him to come back, and then you could tell the contained guys weren't there.
Right, yeah, and that's why I said, outside of that, which, I mean, it wasn't that big of a black eye because you could tell that that play just kind of broke down, and the guys weren't there, and once Delvin Cook gets past you, he's gone.
Yeah.
There's no catching him, and that's what kind of happened right there.
It was funny watching the linebacker, 59, Joe Walker, I think it is, try to catch him, and it's like, dude, just stop, just stop.
You got to give it 100% in preseason, baby.
The other thing
camp.
The other thing that was funny to see was on one of the plays where it was a design read, run play option. He gave the ball to David Johnson, then he took it out. Kyler Murray did, and then he goes to scramble, and he's at full speed. He's got this 300-pound lineman catching him. So he just goes and slides, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And even the broadcast guys were like, yeah, defensive linemen are a little faster in this league than what you're used to.
Just a smidge. Not a whole lot of defense got played in the Big 12, so
but,
we have rules here, guys. We have rules.
I mean, even when he was playing like the Alabamas and things like that, I mean, they're it's a whole different breed once you get up into to this level and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, back to being impressed again with the Cardinals. I mean, there's hope. I mean, we'll have our predictions on everything here in, a weekend, or basically a week and a half before the season starts, going forward there. But, I mean, that's what's so funny about NFL games is one game you're high because your team plays well, win or lose. Next game, you want to jump off a bridge.
The narrative always changes, and especially where we're at right now with a rookie quarterback who is potentially going to be the next face of the franchise once Larry Fitzgerald is gone. Yeah. I got the warm and fuzzies, though, going to week 1. So,
yeah, I mean,
next week, not really worried about too much. Just want to see how the scrubs, I guess you can say, do. And hopefully they ball out and get a dub.
The special teamers and whatnot, because they're at the Broncos on Thursday night. Everybody plays on Thursday night this week, so they could get ready for the opening game of the season the following week. And you're exactly right. So next week we'll go over the game if anything catches our eye. and then we'll go over obviously a preview of the Detroit Lions season opener at home on September 8th.
Are you wearing your Cardinals sweater that game? Your good luck one, the sweatshirt they always wear.
It's a sweater. It's not a sweatshirt. It's a old school. It's the old school like 1930 jersey.
Right.
I haven't decided. I might retire that this year, to be honest.
So
with you. Why are you asking?
Well, real quick for all you Cards fans out there, Ross has some good deals right now.
Plug.
I went to the old Dress for Less the other day, and I was just in there because I've been trying to get that one shirt that's like Under Armour shirt or whatever, and they actually had a Carson Palmer Nike replica jersey in there, and I broke down for $20 and got it.
Carson Palmer.
Heck yeah, man! He's going in the
Ring of Honor.
He's going to the Ring of Honor. I was like, you know what? This is going to get, baby. Here you go. Best quarterback of the Cardinals ever had.
So what does that have to do with my?
I'm just saying,
you
can go to Ross. Maybe you can get a Carson Palmer. We can match or something.
I don't wear jerseys.
We can get the Kyler Murray jersey.
That was
at Walmart.
That was the. So it's a long sleeve. It's an old, like if you picture the
like a hockey
1940s football players, that they just had the long sleeve, shirts with the with the wraps around them, and it just has their team name in the front or whatever. That's what it is. It's heavy. It's freaking hot.
Oh, I know. You always throw it on like right before.
Yeah,
you walk
I
in.
don't wear it like to tailgate. I don't wear it. I literally put it on from the car to the stadium because it's hot. It's not wool, but it's heavy as can be. It's got some holes in it now and stuff because that. The background story on that is I started wearing that in 2008, and what happened in 2008?
Well, something that hasn't happened since.
Yes, so now I'm thinking about retiring it. It's got holes in it up in the top, and it's just hot, man.
Out with the old, in with the new,
it's
baby.
It's just so hot.
Well, I can't wait to wear my Carson Palmer jersey, and I'm looking forward to Game 1 now because I'll be fully decked out in my red jersey. So hashtag Red Sea, baby.
For a Cowboys fan, we're going to get a lot of pictures of that.
Hey, I live in Arizona now, all right? You got to go for the hometown team. And we hope you go for the hometown team and follow us on Twitter at The Main Event Pod. Also hit us up on Facebook, The Main Event Podcast. Hit that up in the search bar. You can follow us individually. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at JasonCarter03. And you can find Steven at SMac500 on all three of those platforms as well. Any final thoughts, Steven?
No, just looking forward to, obviously, Game 4 is going to be back up, so we'll see what happens there, do a review on that, and then lead us into the exciting Game 1, September 8th, at home against the Detroit Lions.
Matt Stafford and the Lions, bring it on. Looking forward to that. Thanks for listening to the Arizona Cardinals Rewind here with conjunction with the Main Event Podcast. We will see you next week and see who gets cut. Hopefully it's not Steven.